First, look at the verb in question. Does it have a prefix?
If so, then take the prefix off.
Well, next you want to check the strong verb list. This is sometimes also called the irregular verb list.
Dude! So I'm wondering where I can find that strong verb list they're talking about.
It's in any German-English dictionary. Duh. It's also in any German textbook. You can also easily find it on the internet.
Just type in German strong verb list into any search engine. Many options will appear. Select one.
That's right. And when you have your strong verb list, see if you can find your verb. Once you've found it, look to the right and find the participle.
But if the verb is not on the list, then assume it is a weak verb. Form weak verbs using the rules for regular weak verbs.
But what if the verb isn't on the list? Then what do I do?
If the verb's not on the list, it is a weak verb.
So then it follows the regular rule for weak verbs.
Yes. Duh.
Regular weak verbs. Add a GE prefix and a T ending to the stem to create the participle. Let's have the example of the verb spielen. If we were to create the participle of spielen, we'd put a GE prefix in front of it and a T at the end of the stem. Let's see what it'll look like. Gespielt. That is a regular weak verb, and that's the way you make a participle for a regular weak verb. Ich mache den Koffer auf.
You know, most participles take a GE prefix. However, check to see if the verb has a special suffix or already has a prefix before adding the GE.
That's right. Check to see if your verb ends with an -len suffix. If it does, then you will not add a GE in the participle form. Some verbs in German end with an -len suffix. For example, here. Verbs that end with an -len suffix are weak. Notice that they take a T ending in the participle form, and they will not take a GE prefix, as most participles do.
Also, if the verb has an inseparable prefix, it will not have a GE in front.
Before finding the participle of a verb, it's good to check the inseparable prefix list to see if that verb has an inseparable prefix. If it does, you will not add a GE to the participle. If your verb has a separable prefix, the GE will go between the prefix and the main part of the participle of the verb.
Whoa there, Matt. Be careful. You have a separable prefix here. To make the participle, be sure to put the GE between the prefix and the stem.
Oh, yeah.
Now, there's one more thing to consider.
What's that?
Does your verb take sein or haben as a helping verb?
Most verbs take haben. However, some verbs that show motion towards a destination take sein. Let's look at some haben verbs. For example, spielen, hören, und bestellen. In the perfect, ich habe auch gespielt. Das haben wir schon gehört. Was habt ihr bestellt? Note the helping verb haben in these sentences. Let's look at some sein verbs. Fahren, einsteigen, und werden. We can put these into sentences into the perfect tense. Du bist nach Dresden gefahren. Wo sind Sie eingestiegen? Und Herr K. ist ungeduldig geworden. Note the helping verbs in these sentences are forms of the verb sein.
So, das war es für heute. Tschüss!